Hello YouTube and hello to my fellow golfing friends, Connor, McValley, Ciso, Hendo. I hope you all can make some time to watch this video and come to the same conclusion that I have. Perfect shots and frame rates. I'll try to keep it short. I recalibrated my shot at 60 frames per second, locked, because that's the frame rate of an Xbox, of a PlayStation. I am using a 75 Hz screen, so I could play the game on 75 frames per second if I like. But 60 is what I set it to for calibration. And what happened is the following. I'll try to show you a couple of times. I calibrated my shot. Okay, this is a slow, so this one doesn't count. We need those perfects. That's a perfect. We get a gray fast. Let's do it again. Gray fast. That's the only option it will give me if I hit a shot perfect. This is a fast shot. So let's find that perfect. Perfect again. Gray fast. This will never, ever, ever, ever. A slow is to the left of the white, a perfect is to the right of the white, and a fast is here. So I'm locked to these three positions. Now here comes the funny part. So I am hitting fasts, and I'm playing at 60 frames per second. Let us go to Nvidia control panel and show you what happens. As you can see, I'm on 60 Hz. I hope you can read this. Now, let's adjust our frame rate to a custom one. Let's go lower with the frame rate. Let's go to 56 Hz. So you can see we're now locked at 60. I'm gonna click apply. I hope OBS understands what's going on, that it's still recording. Yes. As you can see now, I am locked at 56 frames per second. I recalibrated at 60. I got tiny gray slows. Well, tiny, not that tiny. Let's do the same shot on 56 and try to hit a perfect. Let's see what happens. This is probably a slow. No, these are the new perfects. I think these are the new perfects. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. As you can see, we lowered it to the left. By reducing my frame rate, the new perfects are not here anymore in the gray, but they are now close to the white. Let's go back to Nvidia. Let's do something with the frame rate again. Let's go to 52 frames per second. Apply. And lock it on 52. Now we are at 52 frames per second locked. And let's see if we can find a perfect. This could be a fast. There we go. And again, and again, and again. So now what did we do? With 52 frames per second, compared to 60, we moved the needle, the perfect needle, from to the right of the white zone to perfectly center in the perfect range. Let's do this again. Perfect in the white zone, but a tiny bit to the left. So what we can try, let's move it to 53 frames per second locked. Vsync on, of course. Now we are at 53. Let's see what the perfect does now. Now it's maybe a bit more to the center of the perfect. So to hit my perfects and not be stuck with a fast, with a tiny fast or slow, the only thing I have to do is change my frame rate. Well, that sounds really nice on paper and really ridiculous already. But now the funny part. What do you think if you are playing on a PC with a variable frame rate that is not locked. And I give you 5 to 10 seconds to think about that. If you are playing this game and it's jumping around from 53 to 67 to 60 to 55, what do you think will happen to the needle? When it's not locked and you are sure that if I hit that perfect, it will be a perfect. What it this is speculation. I think if you are not playing with a locked frame rate that shoots perfects on your perfect swing, your needle will go all over the place and you'll be shooting fast and slows. And you just think about it by yourself, why am I hitting fast and slows? Well, one of the reason causes your frame rate is variable. Now this is of course tested with a mouse. And again, I'm going to do some speculation. I'm going to do some speculation on the PC that this will happen with a controller as well. But that is pure speculation because I cannot hit a ball with a controller. So I can't test that. And one of the major things in Xbox, you have a locked 60. And I think it's on PlayStation as well. So for the game developer, that's quite easy. They make sure your perfect hits perfect on a 60 FPS lock. Or a 30, because 30 is half, you know, the performance equality mode you guys have on Xbox. 30 will probably the same result as 60. And I think that's why they struggled with your quality mode on Xbox. They want to keep that 60 frames per second lock all the time, because they know if the frame rate is variable on an Xbox, so if your Xbox cannot run 60 FPS, it will dip to 57. And now we have seen what happens if a frame rate dips to anything else than 60. The needle will go left and right, so the pulling rate, the pulling of your swing, is bound to the frames per second on your screen. I hope this all makes sense. So that's why you see me play. Let me go back to my basic setting. I'm going to 65 Hertz. Like I said, my screen supports 75 Hertz. So 65 is still within the margin. If you have a 60 Hertz monitor, don't go to 65 because your screen cannot handle that. Because you need vsync on. This cannot be done with vsync on off. So if you have 60 Hertz screen, the only way you can go is down and find your perfect swing at 55 frames per second, or maybe 53, or maybe 57. But try to get that frame rate to your perfect shot. You can also go for 60 frames per second locked and recalibrate over and over until you hit that perfect. And then keep it at 60, but make sure it's not dipping or going up. Because if it's dipping and going up, your needle will go from left to right. So always try to maintain a frame rate that is stable. And for me, I have two choices, 53 or 65. I will do the shot at 65 as well now. Okay, that was a slow, that was my mistake. We need that perfect, there you go, perfect. The needle is in the middle, at 65 for me. Okay, that is a slow, that is again my swing time being quite off, and there we go again, perfect. So, if my frame rate goes to 53 to 65 and everything in between, hey, that needle will shift to fast, to slow, to fast and slow. And only if we have a 65 or 53 frames per second when I shoot my ball, I will get that perfect. Okay guys, that was it. I hope it was helpful. I hope it makes you understand how this game pulls your perfects and slows and fast. Like I said, I don't know for controller. I would love to see some input from somebody doing the same experience with the controller. I'll show you one more thing. In Nvidia, I make sure vertical sync is using the 3D application setting. And in the 3D application setting, I have vsync on, of course. Where is graphics, vsync, and on. It takes the hertz of your screen, which is actually at the moment. So where's vsync? Yeah, here, vsync. But we'll also, the more easy choice is just go to the Nvidia panel, which I accidentally closed. I'll give it a couple more seconds for you guys. This is the Nvidia panel again. Most of the time I use vertical sync in the Nvidia panel and force it on every game I play anyway. But yeah, vertical sync, it has to be on in the application or in the Nvidia panel, so you have a steady frame rate and not one that is going up and down and up and down and up and down. And that's the video. Have a good day. I'm sorry it's already 11 minutes. Sorry of taking your time. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye from Kaina.